It is totally possible to get distinction in your literature review if you follow the right approach. That's why in this video, I'm going to be telling you some key things that you need to be mindful of so that a distinction can be possible. Okay? All right. So, I've got 5 points written down that I think that are very important for you to get a distinction. Now, I wrote down these 5 points because those are the key things that people ignore. I'm very particular about things that people overlook because they make a whole lot of difference. It's not how in-depth your work is. Obviously, your work should be in-depth. You know that you should write properly, you should write very well, you should be cohesive. Those are the obvious things. You should get your methodology right. Those are the obvious things. What are those things that are not very obvious that you should be doing and would make a whole lot of difference in giving you that distinction? That's because one, it would make the reader happy, not just your lecturer. It would make the reader happy and show that a lot of attention was paid to the work. This is why our literature review course and coaching program, we take all of these things very seriously. And the whole point is we guide you through, we hold your hand literally and guide you through till the end of your literature review from start up until submission. And we've had amazing, amazing feedbacks. We've had really great feedback. So if you want to be one of those people that wants to benefit from this, then absolutely. But I'm going to tell you what those points are that we leverage in our coaching program, and then you will be able to at least take advantage of that. Now, the first thing is your research topic. I'm big on understanding the rationale behind a topic. Like I said, you don't choose a topic based off of a whim. Your subject area that you're researching cannot be because, oh, I went to the hospital, I saw somebody, the person's leg had broken, and I was wondering why is it that the person is standing like this. So now I want to create a research to explore why broken legs are tilted to the left. Ma? No, ma. Wrong. Mm-mm. Nah, 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 nah. Do you understand? So, and your research topic, your research topic gives us an idea of what your rationale is. Your research topic should be extensive enough to give us an idea of the people you are studying about, who are the participants, who are the subject, what are you focusing on. Your research topic should be in-depth enough, it should be elaborate enough for you to get enough study to critique, for you to get enough study for your analysis. Your research topic should not be too restrictive and it shouldn't be too broad. You shouldn't study a topic like stroke in the UK. I feel like that's quite broad. Or mental, oh, that's the most common one mistake that people make. You want to check the effect of mental health. I'm sorry, what? Mental health. That's some massive, massive, massive topic. You can't check the effect of mental health, the effect of something on mental health. Mental health is so broad that you cannot. I mean, that's just you trying to undo a can of worm. You're literally sitting on a keg of gunpowder. It's gonna blow up. You cannot stop. I mean, yeah, that's one key one. Mental health. You just throw that word into your topic and shoot yourself in the leg because it's not specific enough. You can do depression, you can do anxiety, you can do schizophrenia, so many other things you can look at on that mental health. Ask mental health nurses. They don't just throw the word mental health around. It's there's a lot packed into that word. So that said, you need to get your topic right. It's important. And once you get the topic wrong, I mean, what else are we doing here? So get your topic right, and then the research method you use should be justified. So this is one mistake I see students make a lot. You just tell us, oh, I'm going to do this. You need to be answering the why question. Why? So I'll be using the thematic analysis approach. Why? The next thing that should follow it should be because. Tell us the reason. I'll be searching between 2010 to 2025. Okay, but why? You need to put all of, especially in the research methods, you need to tell us why you're carrying out each of those. I mean, why you're using each of those approach, why you are using 2010 to 2015, why you are, I mean, why you're choosing what you're choosing. What that does is it shows your supervisor or your tutor that you have an in-depth knowledge of research methods. Okay, even if you don't have an in-depth knowledge of research methods, scrap that. You know what you are doing. It's as simple as that. You know what you're doing. Not even just having in-depth knowledge. You have an idea of what you're doing. You know it. You read it. You know your onions. I mean, nobody picked up research and learnt everything in a day. But as you were going about your work, you've checked what's the right approach to use, and you know, oh, thematic analysis is the right approach. Content analysis is the right approach. All right, I'm going to use content analysis, and that's because it aligns with my aim, and that's because you understand. So, if you're explaining to us why, it gives us an idea of, this person truly knows what he or she is doing. But if you're just writing, I'm going to, that's when you have the error. That's when you have people say they're carrying out a qualitative study and they are using randomized control trials, and you're like, oh, Ebola tún já sí báyìí. Do you get? So if you're able to explain, answer the why, and then it'll be easy for you to be able to detail and show how in-depth you've read, how extensive your knowledge of research method, or even not if it's not your knowledge of research method, how extensive your knowledge about your subject topic is. That's really important. I mean, you show that you're an expert in your field, even if you're not. I'm kidding, but you really need to show that, okay, I know my onions. I have read these research methods that I'm using. I understand what it is that I am doing. That's the message you want to pass across. Now, that said, I know that this is obvious, but I will still say it. You need to write diligently and have a coherent flow. Please don't confuse your reader. Have a coherent flow. That is why it is important to have a structure, have a plan in place so that you follow that plan. You review your plan to see, okay, this plan that I have, is it cohesive? Is there structure to it? Is there a flow to it? Let people review your plans with you. Let your supervisor review it with you to say, no, move this around, move this here. You understand that kind of thing. So if you have that, then you would have a coherent flow. Now, I get confused a lot when I read students' work. And I'm like, I think that point should have come earlier. Why are we reading that here? Is that kind of feel you want to avoid. So while you might have written well, you might have had all the good things there, but if the flow is wrong, it would just be like a misstep. It would be like a disaster, a mixture of good things that I don't even know the adjective to use to qualify that, but it throws your reader off. It just gives you that vibe like, no, I don't think I want to be reading this work because this person obviously have an idea of what they're doing, but there's no flow. And that's why I keep telling people that literature review is more like story writing. You need to take us from the beginning to the end. You need to give us that vibe. Let's ride with it. Let's a flow. Let's ride with it. Don't just throw us bass, bass. Come on now. I mean, at some point, your reader will just be like, oh, I think I've had enough. And you don't want that to be your work. Okay. So that's why I said leverage all of the resources that you have to make sure that you have a cohesive flow. I feel like we can have a video on how to have a cohesive flow within the context of your literature review. I'll consider that and then put something out there. Then you need to proofread your work. I'm big on proofreading. You've heard me say that over and over again. And I'm not saying that just because I have a proofreading service to render or something. You don't even have to use my service. But I am saying this to let you understand that proofreading should not be underestimated at all, because you have been working on that work for a long time. It is so easy for you to miss out on the A and at that are in places that they shouldn't be. And those things can piss off readers. I'm a reader, and I get so annoyed when, I mean, a sentence that should be simple, I struggle to now understand. Oh, so what's this person trying to say? Where did the and it at? Where did that come from? Do you understand? So it's trying to avoid that. Let your flow. So the coherent flow eats into the proofreading, because if your work is coherent, then that means it's well proofread as well, which means that if you don't proofread well, I mean, you can be flowing, and then at some point, I'm like, what's this person saying? What's this person saying? Jiggy, 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 jiggy. What's this person? Do you understand? My illustrations can be the most stupid, but you get what I'm trying to say, which is you want to make sure that once I'm reading that work, I'm just smooth sailing for your reader. So they'll be like, a lot of effort was put into this work. And that's the only way you can show that you have truly, truly put all of the needed effort. Put your best foot forward, like they say. All right. And then finally, which is my fifth point, I think, the presentation of your work. Yeah. This part, this presentation bit, I so as a master student, I wasn't yet into all of this literature review talking and all of this literature review promotion then. But one thing that I realized was presentation makes a whole lot of difference. I know I say a lot of things makes difference, but presentation, ha, is the easiest way to piss off your reader. The easiest way. I'll use myself as an example. One of the stupidest, if there is a word like that, I know there's no word like that, but one of the most stupid thing I did as a student, a master student, was creating my, I mean, you know, when you want to create your table of contents, so don't blame me. I was fresh. I was raw. I mean, my knowledge of what documented was maybe minus, not zero, but minus. It was minus. I created my table of contents by typing it. Very tedious. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking. Really super tedious. Something I could have done in 10 minutes. I'm sure I used hours, and I typed it out and I put the dot myself, put the number myself. I had to be going very analog and tedious process that is, I mean, you can't click on the table of content and it will take you to the page. That it's a sorry case. I think I'll make a whole video on the lesson I learned in my literature review, which is one of the reasons why my score was painful. I had a 68%. I say that everywhere and anywhere, and it was I mean, I learned from that. I learned a lot from that, which is why I am telling you, present your work well. You know, even the arrangement of how I did it, the way the fonts were, the spacing. I feel like I should show you guys one of these days, but I'm too ashamed. I'll keep calling you people out because I know the moment I show you guys. But I think it's worth just talking about it so that you guys can learn a lot from me, and I mean that experience. Personally, I feel like that because I had amazing feedback. But that presentation ate into my distinction. So for me personally, I'm very, when it comes to presentation, I'm like, you do not want to mess with presentation. I mean, you can proofread, you can do everything, but if your presentation is wrong, trust me, it will take away some mark. I needed just 2 marks to distinction. Was it? Yeah, 2 marks. So again, I'll repeat my point, which is research your topic. understand the research methods that you are using, write diligently, and have a coherent flow. Proofread your work. And most importantly, learn from Bookie. Your presentation is absolutely important. Yeah, so that's it. I don't hope, I know that you've learned something from this video. So make sure to share with your friends, like this video, share with your friends, send it to your colleagues, send it to your supervisor, send it to everybody. Send it to anyone and everything that you can send it to. I will really appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until I see you again in my next video, make sure you put a smile on somebody's face. Bye.